Okay. This one I think is long overdue. It's not really as finely tuned and blueprinted as my other top three or whatever reasons why. But top three reasons why I stopped dating since. So this one, this is just an outline really. Probably not going to go into extreme details. This shouldn't be too long. But anyway, I think that I need to. Okay, let me put it this way. I have noticed that a lot of people, while they are politely and pleasantly and humorously fascinated by my sexual lifestyle, I guess, or sexological choices. I don't know how to explain it. I would just say that even though people have been, people who don't understand it have been fairly polite about it, like respectful, I would say that mostly because they've noticed other things about me that are a little unorthodox, and I have a lot of personality. I'm the life of the party, and I tell you what I think. I tell it like it is. I'm just people don't understand. They think in stereotypes very often, and even when I was watching some stuff on Showtime, I saw their thing, Virgin Tales, about I don't know, father daughter balls or something, and their movie like The To-Do List about some girl trying to lose her virginity before college, for what reason they didn't even bother to explain. But they were two very opposite ends of the same discussion, and they both creeped me the crap out. Okay, you had the Virgin Tales, which was just a bunch of creepy white people. No offense, because I love white people. It's just they were creepy, and they looked creepy. They acted creepy, and they were kind of cultishy looking, and they were only interested in their daughters being virgins till marriage. They didn't seem to care about their sons being virgins too. It was weird. It kind of creeped me out. They kind of creeped me out. And then the other one was the To-Do List, where it's this creepy girl who's like, yeah, I'm just gonna just randomly go trying to, screw around with random dudes. I'm gonna go give a blowjob to some guy I just met, yeah, because I'm just, trying to get experience. I'm just like, what? Who promotes this as if this is something that's cool? I'm just saying, girls, women's lib people will be like, yeah, well, guys do it all the time. Yeah, but they shouldn't. That's not something that you want to promote. I mean, I'm like, you don't want to promote guys going down on girls they just met. You don't want to promote that. Why would you promote it with a girl? It's just, and it's even worse for a girl because guys get diseases guys give diseases more than girls do, and girls get diseases more than guys do. So it's even biologically, it's just not, it's ridiculous. And I mean, I don't even, the whole idea of blowjobs is disgusting, period. It's not even natural. What is the purpose? It's purely kinky and disgusting. I mean, if it's your thing, it's your thing, but ew, never, your penis will never be in my mouth. Ever. I don't give a crap who you are. Don't even think about it. So, it's just it's a disgusting thought, okay? But then it's to a stranger? Complete stranger, just met this person, could have been inside of a million different girls with AIDS or anything, and it's just this is so irresponsible. I just said, oh my god, it was just the worst and creepy. It was just so creepy. They were both creepy, and one was promoting abstinence and one was promoting sexual exploration, and they were both equally creepy. And they were both creepy after school specials that a person who does not understand sex, love, and meaning in general sex, love, and romance. A person who does not understand those things must have put that together. Must have put both of them together. Okay? So I know I took a lot to, to preview my thing here. It's just that I felt a need to give my top 12 reasons why I'm saving sex for love and marriage, because apparently people who don't understand it are trying to do stories on it, and excuse me, but that's not cool. That's just, they're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong, okay? You're doing it wrong, so let me take the reins, because I'm not going to let you mess this up, because there are too many people out there, too many people of all ages, both adults and young people, kids, like teenagers, whatever, who need more support in this area. They need more visual mainstream support in this area, and they need to see people like me who are confident, don't give a crap what anybody thinks, to, give them a little, share my confidence. Let me share my confidence with y'all, okay? Let me share my confidence, or let you guys know that it's cool to come out of hiding. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really give a crap what anybody thinks of me. As long as you don't think that I, have done something horrible against you in a way that is just not true to who I am and what I believe, I don't give a crap what you think of me. So, basically, here's what I have to say. Alright, I basically have, how do I put this? Put this into, like, a category of, like, 5 major categories, and then all the subcategories add up to 12 reasons why. Okay, so it's 5 major categories, and then 12 subcategories, well, 12... The subcategories add up to 12 reasons why that I'm saving sex for love and marriage, okay? So, here we go. All right, I'm going to start with giving you the contents of the major categories. 1, in terms of, okay, the first one is moral ideology of the soul. That is the collective, grandparent, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. Okay? Second is emotional psychology of the heart, which is connective, adult, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. Third is mental technology of the mind, which is inquisitive, baby, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. Fourth is physical biology of the body, which is protective, parent, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. And then fifth is spiritual ontology of the spirit, which is creative, child, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. Okay, those are the 5 major categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then the subcategories would basically be as follows. So, first of all, the moral ideology of the soul, which is I call it this, the collective, grandparent, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. This is what most people automatically assume is the full extent of people's reasoning for saving sex for love and marriage and so forth, okay? Which is basically that you wait because you're doing the right thing based on your moral ideology and or theological principles, which is true. I do believe that it's the right thing to do. I do believe, based on my spiritual beliefs, that is what God wants me to do. It is in the Bible. You're supposed to wait. I don't know why people call themselves Christians and then they act like, oh, I didn't read that part. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But I'm just trying to say that regardless of whatever your religion is or your spirituality is or your lack of spirituality, I don't really care. I mean, I care, like, in a humanity kind of way. But I'm just saying, like, in this context, all I'm trying to say is that this is only one of 12 reasons, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get out. Doing abstinence and celibacy and purity and virginity and all that good stuff till you fall in love and get married and stuff, neither of which has happened to me yet, that waiting because of your moral ideology, because you think it's the right thing to do, because you think that that's what God wants from you, that is a good reason. That is one of my reasons, but it's only 1 out of 12. Okay, and I think that a lot of people think that that's like the only reason, and that's what they don't get, so I feel like it's important to put this out there. So that's number 1, okay, because I'm doing it like a countdown, okay? Okay. All right, reasoning, the next reasoning, number 2, which falls under emotional psychology of the heart, which I call connective, adult, natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. My second reasoning for saving sex for love and marriage is I believe it's the most romantic act of love in the world. And having sex with anyone else would feel like, I was cheating on my soulmate before meeting them, or like they were cheating on me. And I've talked to others who are waiting who feel like it's the same thing. It's like they feel a connection to their soulmate, or they feel a connection to, you know, to the act of making love, and they just feel like it's the most romantic thing in the world to give that gift to your soulmate, and they just feel like having sex with anyone else would feel like cheating, like you're cheating on your soulmate before you meet them. And I agree. I think waiting is the most romantic thing in the world, and not waiting is like cheating. It's what it feels like. It's what it feels like. Okay? So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, emotional attachment. Like, some of us, we actually feel emotionally attached to our bodies, our, you know, spirits, all of that. Okay? And some of us would feel bad if we just got emotionally attached and then cut off abruptly. You know what I'm saying? So that's reason number 3. And, like, you know, you could also say that, you know, trust issues, nobody really wants to feel like they're trusting you with something deep and important and special to them, then you're just not going to respect it. So that's number 3. Okay, number 4, which falls under mental technology of the mind, which I call inquisitive, baby-natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. This is number 4. Getting to know each other. You know, waiting and saving sex for love and marriage gives you the proper opportunity to get to know somebody and actually establish a reliable relationship with that person, and like get to know them, really get to like them, really build something real with them, and actually know for sure that you have something real with them. Something that can't just be easily deleted later once things start to get hard. Because what they have discovered in statistics is a lot of people, especially nowadays, when they get their freak on too soon, or, you know, before marriage, whatever, very often the sex is really what's keeping them together, because they just happen to like that a lot. And then as soon as things get hard, or they have kids, or basically life changes, and the relationship stops being about pleasure and starts being about work, which is what relationships are, then suddenly there's a problem, and they end up breaking up, and then the kids end up with, you know, in divorce situations, and it's really horrible. It's really horrible, because it's like you guys are just basically being selfish bastards, and your kids have to pay the cost for it. Now, granted, that could have happened to you, and maybe it's just a vicious cycle. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't want to ever do that to anybody. I don't want to do that to kids. I don't want to do that to me either. Like, I want to know for sure that I have a legitimate relationship with somebody, that I've actually built a friendship with a person, that our relationship is not built purely on pleasure, that our relationship is actually built on legitimacy, and then the pleasure just, it's like gravy on potatoes, okay? But I need substance to put that gravy on, okay? You can't have a relationship of just gravy. You can't live off of gravy, okay? You gotta have something to put the gravy on. Gotta have some substance, okay? So, that's number 4. Number 5, which falls under physical biology of the body, which is protective, parent-natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. That would be babies. I don't want any unplanned pregnancies. There is no way in 3 hells I'm going to be a single mother. I don't give a crap if it's the new thing to do, because, like, girls are just, like, so empowered now. They're just like, oh, yeah, like, I just totes want to have, like, a baby. And so I'm just like, yeah. I was going to the store the other day, and I saw this, like, cute purse, and I was like, oh my god, a baby would, like, so go with this purse, and, like, these shoes, like, it would so match, like, oh my god, like, yeah, like, who needs, like, a father or whatever, like, kids don't need dads, like, I mean, what son do you know needs a father, like, oh my god, like, whatever, no, that's not me, okay, I take life seriously, and I take babies seriously, I take childhood seriously, I take parenting seriously. I'm not a parent, and I take parenting seriously. Let me explain something to you. I don't want to dime myself out. Okay, I don't care what you think. I'm going to tell you anyway. I've written out an entire homeschool curriculum for my future kids, okay? Because I'm not putting them in public school, because public school is psycho, okay? Those kids, those teachers, public school is psycho. And I've seen how some of my friends turned out. No offense to some of my friends, but I do not want my children turning out like that. Okay, I'm just saying, okay? And I went to private school. Private school, they have a good academic education, but they don't teach you anything else other than the academic education really well. They don't teach you other forms of intelligence that I think every school should teach. And they're also kind of cold, and some of them are kind of racist and sexist. So yeah, I don't want that. I was also homeschooled partially, and that was a good experience. So I have already figured out how I'm going to raise my kids. If I decide to definitely bring them into this crazy world, because this world is so horrible, I don't really know what I want. But if I do bring them into this world, I've already written down how I'm going to raise them, how I'm going to educate them, I've laid it all out. I've even laid out date nights for me and my man, for me and the husband, because we'd be doing it like jackrabbits, you know. So, I mean, like, I'm not a control freak. Like, I don't have my whole life planned out, but I do have my family planned out. I have, like, that part planned out, the part that keeps the family together. Like, I have game nights and stuff, like, right now. Like, so I know what I'm doing, okay? I have really thought about this. Like, I do not want to screw up the next generation, at least not from my womb. If you come in from my womb, I am not going to screw you up. I promise you that. Just saying, okay? Other girls, other people, other women, they might be like, oh my god, like, I so want a baby because, like, it would so go with these shoes. Oh, but what about that new promotion you wanted at that job? Oh my god, you're so right. I shouldn't get a baby right now. How about I get a chihuahua? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ugh, god. Anyway, so, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is babies. 6 would be STDs. I don't want anybody's mess. I do not want anybody's mess. If you got problems, keep it to yourself. Keep it away from me. Like, my first boyfriend, I didn't even know, like, we didn't have sex, but he told me that he had, hepatitis or something. And, like, he told me that he had been with a girl, I think it was his girlfriend before me, and he didn't tell her that he had hepatitis, and that was his girlfriend. Like, his girlfriend. Like, she wasn't even like a stranger. Like, he knew her and didn't tell her he was sick. And I'm just like, oh my god, I have no respect for this guy. And that's really what happened in the relationship. I had no respect for him. I didn't like him. Like, the more I got to know him, the more he wouldn't let me get to know him completely, but the more I saw that he didn't know that I was seeing of him, the more I was like, wow, this guy has no moral intelligence, no class, no romantic, sense, no protective instincts. Like, you could teach a guy romance, but you can't teach a guy protective instincts. Like, he has to have that. Like, you can, kind of nudge him, but he has to have that. You know what I'm saying? So that was just, the whole thing was just like, oh god, I just was so angry at him, like, so much of the time. That's really what killed it, cause, like, and then he couldn't kiss. Oh my god, he couldn't kiss. Oh god, that was the worst experience, like, ever. But anyway, so I couldn't believe that he had this thing wrong with him, and this is like a guy who seems like a nice, normal guy. He seems like Clark Kent. He seems like a nerd. Like, he doesn't even seem like a wild bad guy or bad boy or anything. Like, I went out of my way not to be with a bad boy, right? That was a pointless effort. And it turned out he had a form of STD that he probably gave to his girlfriend before me. Didn't bother to tell her. The only reason he told me is because he knew that, it's like, oh, you're a virgin, you're waiting? Okay, well, let me tell you. I was like, so, like, you're only telling me because of my purity? Like, if I wasn't pure, you wouldn't have told me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, oh, God. That just told me, that was very telling to me, that there are guys out there who seem like there wouldn't be anything wrong with them at all, and they seem like they'd be nice, normal guys and could have anything wrong with them, and then just give it to you and not tell you crap. Because that's what he did to that girl. And I'm not saying she, was the best person in the world from what he told me, but I'm just saying, if it could happen to her, it could happen to anybody, because he is not the type of guy you would expect that from. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like it, okay? So, yeah, number 6 for me is I don't want any surprises that are, gross like that, okay? Number 6, and we're starting to get a little more personal now. Oh, wait, no, it's number 7. Okay, number 7 is, sexual addiction. Okay, so here's the thing, okay, funny story. What happened was, okay, like, when it comes to sensual things, anything that deals with the senses, whether it's sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, the sixth sense, any kind of sense you basically can name, I tend to indulge in those senses and tend to kind of lack self-control in those senses. I tend to kind of have an addiction sort of, to sensual things like that. Like, and so I'm a sensual person, and I try, like, to not, like, harp on it or whatever. Kind of, like, stay away from it. But it's just kind of like, I know me. And I know that once I do have sex and go all the way, once that happens, I'm probably going to be doing it, like, all the time and be really addicted to it. And I cannot be addicted to just anybody. I cannot be addicted to the wrong person. Okay? If I'm going to be addicted, I want to be addiction to the right guy. Otherwise, my life would probably crumble. It would probably crumble if I did things any other way, bad things would happen. Okay? Now, I know this is not everybody can relate to that problem. Like, you know, there's going to be a lot of people out there who'll be like, oh, well, I was just waiting because I thought it was the right thing to do, or because I thought it was romantic, or whatever. Not everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm waiting because I'm addicted to sensual things, and I know that once I have sex, I'm going to be obsessed with it, and it'll probably control my life and consume my every being, every ounce of my being. Like, I know that's not most people. So, like, I'm not expecting everybody to be able to relate to that. But I'm just saying that's one of my reasons. Okay? That's a pretty big reason, too. Because any kind of addiction... it's like kind of a thing. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be able to function. I'm just saying my husband and I probably won't be leaving the bed for maybe like a year. But anyway, so it's just okay. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 reasons. Now the next 5 reasons, all 5 of these next 5 reasons, all fall under the final category of spiritual ontology of the spirit, which I call creative, child-natured intelligence, logic, and reasoning. Okay? Okay. Now, ontology is like the study of existence, basically. So, it might sound similar to the other things, but it's not the same thing. I believe this is sort of a combination. It's not, I guess you could say it's partially ideology, but also ontology. I believe, personally, that we actually have 3 stages of virginity loss in our lifetimes, which is basically, it's not really virginity loss. It's really independence exchange is really what it is, okay? Because I believe there are 5 types of virginities, 5 types of independence that we have that we then exchange, for a lifelong union with another source, another entity. So, this is how I view it, okay? First, number 1, the first stage, the first degree of virginity loss, or independence exchange, whatever, is our societal virginity, our societal independence exchange of the soul, which when we are born. We are first born in our mother's womb, okay? Then that's our whole world. That's our whole society. It's just us in our mother's womb, or if you have a twin or whatever. But anyway, the point is, once you're born, that's when you lose your independence, your seclusion, and you are then exchanging your independence for a lifelong union of dependence to one society in your birthhood. That's your first virginity loss, is your societal virginity loss, your universal societal virginity independence exchange of the soul for the lifelong union with your society. Okay, that's in birthhood, and that's the first one. Now the second 2, I believe, come hand in hand together. Emotional virginity, independence exchange of the heart, and mental virginity, independence exchange of the mind. So you're basically exchanging your emotional independence of the heart, which is your emotional virginity, and your mental independence of the mind, which is your mental virginity, for a lifelong union with your family in your childhood. They are the first ones that you experience emotional and mental intimacy with, emotional and mental closeness with. They are the ones that take your independence away, and you become codependent through your family. You become codependent emotionally through the heart and mentally through the mind with your family in childhood, which is why you're only supposed to be with one family. You're not supposed to be shuffled around from family to family, because we all know that you're supposed to, the first 7 years are the most important bonding years, and that's very integral to your well-being. You know, there's a reason for that. Then, I believe, excuse me, the third degree of virginity loss is your physical and spiritual virginity loss or independence exchange. So it's the physical virginity of the body and spiritual virginity of the spirit, and you're exchanging. This is an independence exchange. The virginity loss, that we call it, it's really an independence exchange, and it's supposed to be an independence exchange for a lifelong union of dependence with one lover. Your one lover in adulthood, and not teenhood, adulthood, okay? And so, basically, your physical protects your spiritual. You know, we're not bodies with spirits, we're spirits with bodies. And so, your physical and your spiritual virginity, independence, is exchanged for that lifelong union with your soulmate, your one lover in adulthood. And it's only supposed to be one lover. You're not supposed to be sharing pieces of yourself with all these different people, because you're giving powerful, important pieces of yourself away to different people that you're never going to get back. And so, and that tears away at your spirit and soul. So basically, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, you can't, you know, heal from that if you've already, you know, lost all that. You know, there are people that were shuffled from family to family in their childhood, and they found a way to heal from that. I mean, obviously, certain people that I went out with didn't heal. There's a lot of broken people going around pretending to be fixed and good, but there's also people who have healed. And so, I know there are people who've been, you know, their virginities and virtue and independence has been stolen from them. And, you know, that takes a lot of time and hard work to heal from. So I'm not saying that, you know, everybody's got to be perfect, or everybody, you know, his life is perfect or whatever. I'm just saying that this is what I believe is the general philosophy of nature. And I believe that baby only loses virginity or exchanges his or her societal independence of the soul with one society. The child exchanges the emotional and mental independence of the heart and mind supposedly with only one family. The adult exchanges the physical and spiritual independence of the body and spirit with only one lover in their lifetime. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. One society, one family, one lover. That, I believe, is the way it is supposed to be. And I mean, I believe personally, people bleed when they get shuffled from family to family, or lover to lover, or whatever. Like, I believe when you get shuffled from family to family, your heart and mind bleeds. That's like an emotional and mental bleeding goes on, where you're bleeding and you're not healthy. You know, it's not healthy to go through that. It's it's a trauma, in other words. And that trauma is like an emotional, mental bleeding. And the same thing when you're giving yourself away, physically and spiritually, to different people, instead of just that one lover that you spend forever with. To me, that's basically, you're bleeding yourself. You're bleeding your physical energy, you're bleeding your spiritual energy, you know, with all these different people, and you're never getting it back. Because, to me, there's no such thing as virginity loss. To me, it's either a virginity downgrade or a virginity upgrade. When you give that virginity to another entity, that one entity that you exchange it for a lifelong union with, that one entity, that is an upgrade if you stay there with that person. But if you just get shuffled around, giving it around to whoever, whatever, and you know, you're reckless with it, that's what I call a downgrade, a virginity downgrade. And upgrades are good, because that lifelong union of codependence with that one entity, that's positive, that's teamwork, that's becoming a greater person, because you are uniting with another force that's making you an even stronger force than you were when you were alone. That's good. But when you just, you know, spread it around, that's just messed up. And so, here's the thing. Some people are meatheads, males and females. Some people are, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but some people are like animals. They have no connection whatsoever to their body. Their body is completely detached from their spirit, their mind, their heart, their soul. They don't feel nothing. Their body is just like a piece of meat to them. They don't feel crap, okay? They're like an animal. It's just like, they're just going to grunt through life, okay? Those people aren't going to understand what I'm saying, okay? They're just not going to understand what I'm saying. But then there are those of you who know what I'm saying. You feel a connection, an intimate, deep connection from your body to your spirit, to your heart, to your mind, to your soul. You cannot detach one from the other. They are all connected. And I'm going to say something that other people may not want to hear, and they don't have to. Y'all can turn this off right now. But those of you who feel that connection with your body, your heart, your soul, your mind, your spirit, that is called, you are called an evolved being. Okay? When you feel the connection, when you're connecting the dots, okay, that's being evolved. That's being the way I believe humanity was meant to be. When you cannot connect the dots, when your body is just a slab of meat that's on some bones, and you don't connect it to crap, you don't connect it to your spirit, your heart, your mind, your soul, it's just there, that is unevolved. That's like being an animal. Because animals are, you know, they kind of act like pieces of meat. Like some of them, you know, some of them show a heightened level of intelligence compared to others, but in general, they are not particularly super duper connected. Their physical energy and physical intelligence isn't completely connected to their spirit and mind and heart and soul. You know, spiritual intelligence, mental intelligence, emotional intelligence, moral intelligence. So when you feel connected, where you feel like you cannot give a piece of your body away like that without it being connected to the rest of you, without losing a big piece of you, without losing part of your spirit, part of your mind, part of your heart, part of your soul, that's because you're evolved. Okay, so all this crap about, oh my god, you didn't lose it yet? That's like so immature. Like, it's the complete opposite. And if people would stop and actually analyze things like real philosophers and like real, I don't even know how to explain it, intelligent people, like, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be like legit, I'm trying to be honest, like clear and blunt. Like, if you actually logically look at it, the more connected you are, the more evolved you are. The less connected you are, the less evolved you are. Okay? And I'm not talking about dogma, I'm not talking about religion, I'm not talking about book learning. I'm talking about connection, spiritual and intuition, and you can set your body and your spirit and your mind and your heart and your soul. There is a connection, and you cannot give one thing away. You can't give your body away without giving part of the rest of what's going on inside of you away. Okay? That is evolved. That is an evolved being. Okay? Because that makes you more evolved than all the other animals of the earth, and that is how human beings, I believe, are supposed to be. Okay? It's not even like a big deal. It's not like we're saying we're all angels or something. It's not saying that you don't make mistakes or have problems. It's just saying that you simply feel a connection and you cannot detach yourself from that connection, because it's kind of like knowing that 1 + 1 = 2, and then everybody tells you to pretend like you don't know that 1 + 1 = 2, and then when people are like, oh, you know that 1 + 1 = 2? Man, that's stupid. It's the exact opposite of stupid. If you know that 1 + 1 = 2, and nobody else that's like in your immediate vicinity, people who are talking to you, they're like, I don't know what 1 + 1 equals because I'm smart. Like, I don't know what 1 + 1 equals. That means I'm smart. You know what 1 + 1 equals? You stupid. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The fact that you connect the dots that means you are evolved. And people who can't connect the dots, even when you connect the dots for them, they're less evolved. Okay? And it is really our job as people who have a sense of evolution inside of us. We are evolved. You know, it's our job to kind of put things together and kind of share our understandings with others. And I don't mean like force yourself on people and stress people out and knock on their door and beat them upside the head with a Bible or whatever. I'm just talking about whatever you figure out. Those of you who have creative intelligence, spiritual intelligence, original thought, whatever, and some kind of intuitive sense of truth, and logic and philosophy. It's our job to share that, just share it, just put it out there, plant some seeds and let it grow, let the tree grow, because to me this is like common sense, but at the same time, when I first figured this out, and I didn't read it anywhere, I just figured it out on my own, it really kind of hit me like, how did I not consciously know this all this time? It just seemed so natural to me. And it kind of also felt like, I really got mad at God at the same time. I was like, God, I understand that you try to point things out to us sometimes, but don't you think you could be just a little clearer sometimes and a little bit more forthcoming? Like, well, then it's like, I guess that's our job. Some of us are supposed to be messengers, and some of us, we might get frustrated, wondering why other people don't see things when we can see very clearly, and apparently their vision is blurred. And so it's our job to be the glasses for society and basically help people see. Because if we have sight, then we should share that sight with others. So that's really what I'm doing here. I'm just sharing my sight, and those of you who either you know why you're waiting, or you don't know why you're waiting, or you want to know why I'm waiting, whatever, I'm letting you know. And this is pretty much it. And I probably will go into this again some more deeper later on. But I do believe that there's three levels of virginity, independence, exchange, and 5 different types of independence exchange, and I cannot disconnect from that. I guess because I think people who have had bad experiences in their childhood with their families, they tend to have the hardest time, holding on to any level of purity when it comes to the physical and spiritual virginity and spiritual and physical independence exchange. I think people who come from really good, strong families like me, it is easier for us to hold on to that and to keep a sense of purity and to keep basically our independence, our virginity and independence intact, and other, our physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, whatever, intact better, just better than the average, because I basically had a good head start, in other words. So I don't expect everybody to be as on point as me, because I know that not everybody was as lucky as I was. But anyway, I just had to put that out there. So now you know my top 12 reasons why. If I come up with any more, I'll let you know. But these are the ones that hit me pretty quick. So I'll probably talk more about this later. But I've been talking for a very long time, and I'm sorry that I've talked for so long. But hopefully you have a better understanding of me, and there was some understanding and appreciation of, vision being clarified there. Okay? Alright, so that's it for me for now, and God bless, take care, and yay! Go, purity or efforts therefore of. Bella, come here, say hi. Come here. Come here. Say hi before the 40-minute. Oh my God, you're so lazy. Come here. Come here. Oh my goodness, say hi. So that's Bella. Come on, Bella. Alright, so take care.